Hey, it's Greg here with Maritime Gardening, and I wanted to talk a little bit about spinach here. It's middle of June. I've got spinach that I planted the beginning of April, and it's done. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that, how to know your spinach is done, what to do with that sort of thing. So spinach is a cool weather crop. We're getting in it's almost summer now, and summer is not cool, it's warm. Okay. And spinach has this thing, it does. I mean, you can see that I've got a garden here where I've got tomatoes, but down the center I planted spinach. That was back in April, right? This is a spinach plant here, okay? And I've harvested them all because I noticed this week they started to bolt. So we've been eating spinach everything this week. I'll talk a little bit about that as we go along here. And I should have filmed this yesterday when there was more spinach here so you could see. But here's the spinach. You can see I've taken off all the good stuff. But I mean, what matters is this right here in the center. There's a flower there forming. Okay? So when I say spinach is starting to bolt, what that means is it's going to flower. Okay, now your instinct is to just pinch those flowers off, but that's not going to do anything. The spinach responds to temperature, and once it starts getting warm day after day after day, I don't know how the signal gets to the spinach. It's not like it's thinking and looking at calendars and making decisions like you and me, but it responds to a period of time when the temperature is over a certain amount. And when that happens, and the soil's a certain level of dryness, when that happens, it stops putting on vegetative growth and starts going into flowers. It makes seeds, right? Everything that's alive is trying to reproduce itself. And the only way the spinach, it's an annual, the only way it can reproduce itself is to go to seed. Once it goes to seed, it stops making the leaves. All the energy is going into the flowers and all that sort of stuff. And also the leaves actually lose their flavor. And since you grow spinach for their leaves, there's just no point in trying to coax the plant along. What you need to do is pull everything. And that is why I plant these things for succession planting with whatever. It doesn't really matter what you plant it with. There's no magic combination. It just made sense in a nice long garden like this. Plant the spinach down the middle where I know it would be. We've been eating it for the last few weeks, right? But now it's gone. And then I put these tomatoes in. These are transplants I had inside. I put those on the outside. And now what I've got to do is just go in here and do a little bit of housekeeping. You know, pull these all out, pull the few weeds. Only take a minute or two, right? And then I can just lay it there like that. It's no big deal. It doesn't matter, right? And then just pull all these, right? I mean, people get overwhelmed by these little tasks in gardening, but this is just a thing you do out in the morning when you're watering your garden, right? And I'll just get some leaves and stuff. It doesn't matter what you got, whatever you can. I'll mulch this whole area so that the soil can retain moisture, and I'll get really good tomatoes. And you can mulch with whatever you want, even grass clippings. Okay, so the most important thing you need to get out of this video is when you see your spinach starting to putting on these flowers, okay, harvest it all. Once you start seeing the flowers, you've got it probably a week to go through it all. That's no big deal because spinach is healthy and good for you. Now, I mean, we're programmed to think that spinach is a salad food, but of course there's lots of ways you can cook it. Personally, I mean, I love it in a salad, of course, but I also really like it cooked. I meant to do a video on this, but this, you get cooking supper and that sort of thing, and you're in a rush, and never happened. But I mean, to me, the best way to cook spinach is put a little bit of, like maybe one. You got a full bowl of spinach. It's all clean and everything like that. You dry it off a little bit. You just get a full bowl or a clove of garlic, a little bit of, maybe a tablespoon of oil in a fry pan. Get that going for just a couple seconds, like a 10 count. Then a little bit of salt, a little bit of soy sauce, throw the spinach in there, and then you just toss the spinach. You have 2 spoons. I can't use my other hand because it's holding the camera here, but you have 2 spoons, and you're just tossing the spinach the same way you toss a salad in the fry pan, and you just do that until you see it start to wilt a little bit. you just keep tossing it like that. Don't put the lid on, don't add water, don't do nothing. There's enough water in and on and around the spinach to create steam, enough steam. But you just toss that around until you see it wilt down. A lot of people cook spinach and they get this big wet mess in the pan. But you can avoid that by just don't add water and just toss it as it's cooking on reasonably high heat, medium to high heat. And just till you see it start to wilt, it gets nice and shiny and nice and green. Then take it off the heat, get it out of the pan, and you've got, you know, you can eat a ridiculous amount of spinach when you cook it like that, right? Because it's losing its fibrous qualities. Okay, so that's my advice, right? You might be overwhelmed by how much spinach you have because you planted it all at the same time, and it's going to be ready at all the same time. So you're going to have 1 week to eat a ridiculous, like more of the spinach than you'd ever buy from a grocery store, even from just one garden like this. And I planted another set of spinach in this bed here, but I forgot to water them and they all just died. Right? But you're going to be overwhelmed by all the spinach. But when you cook it, you can take, let's say, an entire salad bowl for 4. When you cook that, that's enough spinach for 1 person. It shrinks dramatically, right? So it's really not that big a deal. You just have to commit to eating a lot of spinach that week, which is fine because you've been waiting for it all year. Now it's July, or it's June, and we're not going to be eating spinach for June, July, August. Around the end of August, if I'm on the ball, I'll plant some spinach, and with any luck, I'll have a decent harvest of that in October. Right? I always think, you know, I planted this at the beginning of April, so April, May, beginning of June is when I got my spinach, right? So assume like 60 days, depends on where you are and how well you coax it along and so forth. But there's no reason to think you can't get a fall crop of spinach if you water it enough. The trick with planting something like spinach, it's a cool weather crop. It's still pretty warm in August, so you got to keep it watered. Maybe even, you know, plant it somewhere where there's like a little bit of shade, you know, near something, in the shadow of something. It's still getting enough light though, because it needs sun. Okay, but that's the trick with spinach. Okay, once you start seeing those flowers like that, they're done. There's nothing you can do to save them. But there's no reason. I mean, there's so few things that you can plant in your garden at the beginning of April, where I live anyway, because they will not germinate. It's just too cold. They'll either not germinate or they can't handle the cold, right? The foliage will just be destroyed by the freezing temperatures at night. But spinach can take it. It's tough. So it's a perfect thing to plant a lot of in April. And you just got to be ready and willing to eat a lot of spinach at the end of May, early June. Now my spinach is done and it's time to move on to other things. The same can be said for lettuce. Okay, so here's a variety of, it's a type of romaine type lettuce, okay? And it's growing good, looks really good. But at some point, and this was also planted beginning of April, this obviously, I mean, there's variation between varieties in vegetables. So this lettuce is clearly more bolt resistant than the spinach. Some spinach is more bolt resistant than others. But also this is a different location in my garden. This location here is next to all these trees, right? That direction is south. It gets a bit more shade than the spot over there. Where, I mean, I chose that location to grow my tomatoes because it's really, really, really sunny right there, right? And all these sand pathways, it gets really hot, right? Great spot for a sun-loving, heat-loving crop. Okay, generally speaking, I don't grow tomatoes over here because there just isn't enough sun. I mean, they'll still grow, but they grow better in another spot where there's more sun. So I grow greens, generally speaking, and some potatoes, where I got potatoes here. This isn't as hot, isn't as sunny. That also might be why this lettuce hasn't bolted yet. Also, this lettuce has a mulch like this, right? So it's retaining the moisture, whereas the spinach was not mulched. I just didn't get around to it. So, you know, some combination of heat and availability of water, right? If the spinach just gets all these indications that, you know, it's getting hot, it's getting dry, you better go to seed, that sort of thing. This lettuce hasn't done that yet, so I got nice big lettuce. But at some point in here, there'll be some evidence of a flower forming. It's not happening yet. It's still doing what they call vegetative growth. So there's no point in going crazy harvesting. I can start harvesting these, right? I might as well, right? They're not full sized yet, but they will be in a week or so. And then they're going to bolt, and I'm going to have a lot of lettuce on my hands, right? So I'll have to be, at some point we're going to be having lettuce coming out of our ears. We're going to be eating a lot of this. And just like spinach, there's lovely ways to cook lettuce. I mean, people talk about putting it in soups. I mean, what doesn't go in soups? Everything goes in a soup. But I've shown on my channel and some of my cooking videos how to cook lettuce. A beautiful dish. It's one of my daughter's favorite things. This time of year, as the lettuce starts to become more and more available, I start making that a lot because we get it all to use up, right? Everybody in the house loves it. So I'll put a link to that video at the end of this. But it's the same thing. The whole point of growing it was to eat it. If it's starting to bolt, you got to harvest it all. I mean, some people might just harvest it and put it in their freezer, I guess. But to me, why not just eat a lot of it? This is not the sort of thing you'd freeze, in my opinion. Some greens makes sense to freeze them. Blanch and freeze is what I do with, like, my kale, for instance. I'll blanch and freeze that. That's kale over there. But with lettuce, no, I don't think it's the sort of thing. You want to have it fresh in a salad. But there are ways to do cooked lettuce where it still has a bit of texture. It's not all gone to mush. You're just basically blanching it. Still has its texture, still has its color, still has, everything, good flavor, right? You haven't cooked the flavor out of it. But you can, if you've got a lot of lettuce, you can only eat so much salad, right? You can eat way more cooked greens than you can raw greens. And I'm sure people will argue about, if they're raw, they have more nutrients and that sort of thing. Well, they got more of some things, but, cooking doesn't remove some things. Cooking doesn't, there's some vitamins, some minerals, certainly minerals, cooking doesn't remove any of them. And there's certain vitamins cooking either doesn't remove them at all or only removes some of them. Like vitamin C. People always talk about how cooking removes the vitamin C. It removes some of the vitamin C, but there's still some left, right? So, I cannot eat like a full bowl of salad myself, nor do I want to. But a bowl of lettuce cooked, I can eat that no problem as a part of a meal, right? Because when you cook things and they wilt down, they, you can just eat a lot more of them because it's easier to digest and handle. Sorry if the camera works a bit shaky here. The flies are starting to come around. It's about 7 a.m. and it's getting a bit insane here, so I got to wrap this up. But yeah, same thing as the spinach. Once you start seeing the flowers, there's nothing you can do to stop this process, right? Because a lot of what's going, if you think about a plant, the plant doesn't have a brain, but if there is a brain, it's like the roots, right? So, I'm using metaphorical terms here, but once the roots decide to do something, it's happening, right? So once the plant starts going to flower, that's what it's going to do. Pinch the flower off, it'll just make another flower. That's what it's doing now. So harvest them all and eat them. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Check out my podcast, maritimegardening.com. Check out my articles at maritimegardening.substack.com. Please subscribe to my new YouTube channel where I have all my podcasts, the Maritime Gardening Podcast. And until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.